Lesson 3 starts with ha. And this is how we write it. First we have our familiar caped figure, then what looks like a dagger, except that it ends with a little loop. So it looks similar to K before, but now we have a little loop. So use this to imagine what this character could inspire. When I think of ha, I think of an evil supervillain who goes ha 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 ha. And of course he wears a cape, so he's our caped figure here, and he's a dagger, so cape and dagger. And this ha 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 supervillain, he throws boomerangs, daggered boomerangs. And they go and they come back, and he catches them and he's like, ah ha ha ha. Kind of like Batman, but evil. So that is how we can remember ha. And that little loop down there, we'll call a boomerang from now on. So 3 pieces, a cape, a dagger, and a boomerang. Let's spell some words. Hanko. Hara. Haiku. Ha. The hiragana for ho looks a lot like the hiragana for ha. So we have from ha, it looks just like that, except we have an extra line. And what this line is doing, remember when we had for ki, ki looks like sa. So we had a dagger, but now with the extra line we have what looks like a sword again. So before we had Dr. Haha, the evil Dr. Haha with the daggers that were like boomerangs. But the superhero is Super Santa Claus, and he says ho ho ho, and he actually, better than Dr. Haha, our Super Santa Claus, has swords which also boomerang. Obviously swords that boomerang are more devastating than daggers that boomerang, and thus our ho ho saying superhero will win. So that's how we can remember this hiragana. Let's spell some words. Hori. Hon. For hiragana ma, the easiest keyword we can think of is probably mama, which is also Japanese, mama, for mommy, much like it is in English and other Western languages. So here's how we write it. Which, if you'll notice, it looks a lot like the last part that we saw before, ho, which was our sword with a boomeranging sword. So now imagine this, imagine your mama, imagine your mother, standing in an open field, throwing swords around, trying to be like Super Santa Claus, and they come swinging around, but she has to duck. And because she is ducking, that's why you see this part is it's a little bit lower. So she's ducking, unlike before, which didn't have this little bit at the top, which sticks up. So that is how we can remember ma. To spell the word koma would look like that. Matsu. mama. Next is hiragana yo. And it looks like this. We have a puppy dog's tail plus a very long boomerang. So what can we do with this? Well, imagine someone taking a puppy dog's tail and tying a knot in it on this one long wing of the boomerang and then throwing it in the air. To which anyone seeing responds, yo, that's not cool, man. Which clearly isn't. And also it being not cool, they throw egg yolks at the wretched scene because it's just an awful, awful idea. Yoke. Yoko. Yon. Na. Hiragana na. We write like this. Okay, 3 elements. We already know these. So, imagine this. You may remember in A Christmas Carol when Ebenezer Scrooge comes to his door, he sees the face of his old partner Marley. So just a very scary and intense scene, but we're going to change it. So this time when he comes to the door, he sees that very eerily the knocker has become a puppy dog's tail. And when he tries to knock with it, daggers come flying out at him. But, ever prepared, in Dickinsonian England, he has his boomerang, which he uses to fight off all the daggers, and he's fine. He's able to enter, and the rest of the story commences. Na. And why the knocker? Well, na. That's why. So you hear na, think knocker, and Scrooge, he tries to pull the tail, daggers come out, but he uses his boomerang, and he's fine. Some words we can spell. Natsu. Hanako. Anna. Hiragana o looks like this. It has not one, but 2 tails. So I actually think of O. When I hear that, I think of "Oh, Captain, My Captain," the Walt Whitman poem. So a captain in the Army and the Air Force and the Marine Corps has a rank that has not 1, but 2 black bars, something like that. And it is also connected looking like that. So we have 1, 2 tails instead of bars. Let's imagine that these ranks are puppy dog tails. And we have 1, 2, and they're connected by this little bridge, just like this little loop at the bottom. So 1, 2, and of course, as you remember, that's a 1, right? That's part of a number 2, and we just link them together. 1, 1, 2, and there's 2. Just like that. Oni. Onna. oike. We have come to the end of lesson 3, and we've learned 6 new hiragana. Ha, ho, ma, yo, na, o. They actually are some of the hardest to remember as far as what you need to do for your imagination. It'll go downhill from here. We can now add a few more sounds to our little ditty here, our little song, that we're going to use to remember the order of the hiragana, the way that they're normally ordered, like in a dictionary. So it's, of course, Hiragana, the same thing, same theme. So sing with me. Akasata nahamaya. Of course, we have a little bit more to do to finish it, but one more time. Akasata nahamaya. Keep singing that to yourself all day long, and before you go to sleep, that is what will help really make it sink in. It will become very useful, which you will see.